Hi, I'm Mike Abernathy. We're back, and today I'm going to kind of push you a little bit. I mean, it's when you try to help somebody, and I'm not very good at this. I mean, what I'm going to say, I'm not. I think I can help people, but oftentimes I push too hard, and it kind of reminds me of the deal from A Few Good Men. Where they're in the courtroom, and Jack Nicholson says, "You can't handle the truth," kind of deal. Most doctors can't handle the truth. Okay. But I think there's a quote by John Gardner, and I may misspeak it just a little bit here. He said, but most organizations have developed a functional blindness to their own defects. Okay. Now, have you seen the commercial where I think it's Febreze or something, where it's like, you think your car smells like this, but it really smells like, and then they've got, I don't know, an old socks and, football uniforms laying all over the car, and it smells horrible. They become nose blind to how it really smells. We've become functionally blind to our own defects. It's not that you're suffering or not being able to, fix these things. It's not because you cannot resolve them. It's because you don't see them anymore. And so I think if I can lay this out in a logical fashion, and I know I fall far short of this a lot of times, that if you could see it, then of course you'd want to fix it, okay? And so I'm going to get personal today, because we're going to talk just a short period of time about accountability. So John Gardner's quote was, most organizations have developed a functional blindness to their own defects. They're not suffering because they cannot resolve their problems. They're suffering because they cannot see their problems. And hopefully at this time, you've taken the opportunity to kind of diagnose your practice, different mindset, kind of a start over mindset, whatever it takes kind of mindset, and that you've taken the time to actually take a hard look at your practice. Now, I'm asking you to become accountable. I just left a meeting where there was maybe 40 or 50 doctors, and then I wasn't leading it, but I was answering most of the questions. And so I'm watching the chat side of this Zoom deal, and people are asking questions. And the whole time they hadn't asked me the question yet because the moderator was asking the question, but I could see where we're coming from. I could see where they were going with these questions. And I'm sitting here, I wanted to just go, guys, put on your big girl panties and deal with it. I mean, it was so obvious that they've been in denial so long, and they can't see the cause and effect anymore. So accountability means answering for your actions and results. So if you diagnosed your practice and you looked at, okay, kind of a mindset is you're buying this practice and you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the staff, who do I need to keep, who should I not keep, what are they doing well, what are they not doing well, what can we improve on? Okay, you've taken the deal. You're going to find that, even in 2019, practices weren't making really any profits. Even when it felt like you were doing okay because it was comfortable, you're nowhere close to the destination. So accountability means answering for your actions and results. You got to own your performance every day, regardless of the noise that might surround your performance. Bottom line, accountability means letting go of your excuses and actually reaping your results. Your actions actually have to rise above those excuses. Now, again, I'm pointing a finger at you. Everything that you saw in your practice, if you diagnosed it, were shortcomings. Now, a lot of us like to point fingers at, well, where I live, I can't hire good staff, or the economy's bad where I am. I mean, bottom line is the buck stops with you. You're the reason the practices do well as an owner. You're also the reason that they struggle. And when you identify areas that you were not able to, you didn't go, wow, we should have a wider range of services, or, I could change my hours to be more consumer driven, but you haven't. or you see these problems as you're starting to go back to work with staff and you won't take the step to not bring somebody back that is just killing your practice. You won't change the way you pay your hygienist. These are on you. You're only delaying the decision you're going to have to make. My prediction is that if you cling the traditional model of dentistry, you're going to be the last person to change, but you may not survive this. And again, you come back, it's a little busy for 2 or 3 weeks, and you're thinking, oh, well, Mike's wrong. It's just, it wasn't that bad. We don't have to ramp back up. But I'm now getting calls in from doctors that have been out 3 weeks. They're going, oh my gosh, my hygiene's falling apart. And it's going to hinge on the perspective and that's being driven by news broadcasters and newspapers and radio, TV, and every day those things are going to change. Now, I want to go back before I close today, and every time I say these, I feel like James Taylor singing Fire and Rain. I mean, it's one of those things where I remember him interviewing James Taylor, and in fact, at a concert that I was watching him in, he goes, had I known that I would sing this about 2,000 times a year, I'd have written a better song. Okay, but again, it's a great song, great storyteller. There's a couple of dental truths that I keep reminding people when I write. I need to remind you before we go away today when we talk about accountability. Accountability is like rain. Everybody knows we need rain, but nobody wants to get wet. This is the time as a leader you need to stand back up and be accountable. And there's a couple, 3 dental truths here. There's absolutely no way at getting better at giving patients what they don't want. Now, if we look at what patients want, it's different than it was 60 days ago. If you go back and do what you did 60 days ago, you've missed the whole point here. You haven't changed. You're going to be trying to give patients something they don't want. And the biggest mistake you could make is thinking that patients want what you have to sell. These patients are coming back with different attitudes, and you have to adjust for this. The second thing is that if we look back in 2019 and you truly find that your overheads, 70% higher, that you only took home 20%, 30% of the total collections in your practice, remember that everything you did, every system, every protocol, the way you answered the phone, people you hired, the way you handled yourself, every system was designed to precisely give you the results you got. And if you go back to doing what you did before, not only you come into a new, it would be like you're playing ping pong and now you're playing full contact football now. You're not going to survive this, okay? If you're not growing, you're not meeting your patient's needs. It's time to stand up and be accountable in a business that's a small consumer-driven business where people vote with their feet and their wallet. Thank you.